Yo, we are back with another Rhythm Roulette reaction. This time we got my fellow countryman, Nicholas Craven. Very dope to see him get an opportunity to do Rhythm Roulette. He's on a crazy run right now. He just dropped a third album with Boldy James. If you're not familiar with Nicholas Craven, do your research. He's worked with everybody. West Side Gun, Boldy James, obviously, Ransom. And yeah, let's see what he did on Rhythm Roulette.
I like the sound of analog technology in like the 70s, late 60s, but this should be good too.
That's a fact. Check my levels.
What's up? It's Nicholas Craven. I'm here at A1 Records, about to do my Rhythm Roulette.
Dope shirt. I don't know if that's your merch, but I'd wear it.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, he has some crazy shit for Makami as well. I'm assuming this is in New York.
All right, let's see what we got.
I didn't really show what section he was in.
All right, so yeah, this one's gonna be good. The quartet joint, like
some jazz.
Mike Schaub's gonna be proud of me. He loves when I use more jazz samples.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get busy with this. The Jerry Butler joint, like this probably has a couple samples we already know on it, just because it's Jerry Butler and it's late 70s, 76. Yeah, it's gonna have some crazy fire on there. Probably make some pretty classic sounding stuff with that. And this stuff, the Frida Shine, I have no idea who she is. 84 is less my type of year either,
doesn't look
but
promising.
We could do something with that. I always like a nice 80s gated snare, gated reverb snare. So yeah, let's check this.
With those ones, you just need like a little piece, just like a little tiny piece where there's not too much going on, and you could layer it, or you can loop that little one piece, chop up that one little piece, and you can still get away with it. If it's too busy, like disco, I don't really mess with disco and all that kind of stuff unless you stem it out.
So I think I'm gonna start with Frida. This is not recommended, but you know, we do what we can. Yeah, no. See, that one was kind of my tempo, but those chords weren't it though.
There we go.
Shout out to New York for upgrading the weed too. You guys are doing really good in the last few years.
So there you go.
Great weed. I think that's gonna be the song for that I'm gonna take off of this record, for the Frida record. What's it called? Come to Me, I Am Woman. That song sounds pretty cool. And yeah, it's funny to be like out here giving up all the samples that I'm using today, because you know, I'm not usually known to do that, so it's fun to have an excuse to sample snitch for once, you know, because... So basically what I'm doing right now is that I'm going through the whole tape and I'm listening to a few seconds of a song and seeing what tempo it is. And if it's like high tempo disco dance type beats, I rarely can use them unless there's like a little like breakdown in the middle or something. And usually you can see if there's a breakdown like on the groove, it gets darker.
So that's the way he does it is a lot more patient than the way I do it. I kind of do the same thing where it's like I check to see if that melody or that song is dope, and then hopefully I can get an empty piece later on if it's not right at the beginning, and then I might listen to the whole thing. I found that when I'm working in MPC, it gives me more reason to listen to it because I have to listen to it in order to record it into the sampler. But when you have it on Ableton, if you get it from YouTube or a place where it's just like a MP3 download, you could just drag it and then you could kind of just look at the waveform and say, okay, this might, and then you could just kind of skim through. So this is a little bit more involved, which is dope. And I know he's known for finding dope loops. So you gotta be patient when you're trying to find those dope loops.
But
I'm not patient.
basically, I'll just skip those songs till I get to like a tempo that's good that I can actually work with, a slower tempo like this one. And then I might like try to listen to see if the chords are cool. But basically, I'll skip every song, but play a little bit of every song until I get to a song, and I'll record the full song. And at the end, once I have the whole record done, I'll just export the full songs. And if I'm doing like a bunch of records, sometimes I can't just like record the songs I like off of like 10 records on one file, because I won't know like which track number it is off the album. So by doing it like this and having a little piece of every track, I can automatically know, okay, this is for track 3. So when I export it and ultimately put it on iTunes and organize it with the track name and album, it's easier to organize and find where I'm at and actually keep track of what samples I'm using.
There's different methods to how different producers do their thing. And he's a guy that listens to the whole sample, the whole record before he, starts to chop it up, which I respect that. And, you're bound to find more obscure loops later on in the song, other than just taking the beginning or needle dropping. Once you find a song that you like, he listens to the whole thing, and, then he's listening for the pieces that he might use later on down the line. I need to do that more often. I don't do it often, like I said, unless I'm sampling records or having to record into the MPC.
So let's get into this Jerry Butler album before I start playing with these tracks.
And he's an Ableton user.
That's what I'm saying. The Jerry Butler stuff, can't go wrong.
Fire.
Fire. Super fire. So now is the boring part. We gotta chop these up now. So that's fire. All right, let's just have some fun with this real quick.
Is that from the Frida joint? Yeah. That's the 80s, those 80s synths. You gonna put drums on it?
Yeah? Oh, thank you.
I know.
I know, like, what the fuck? On the Frida tape? It's the last thing, too, on the whole thing. That's kind of nuts, man. So right now I'm only using one sample, though. So I gotta figure something out. Because this is pretty good. And I don't want to make it too much. It's already good, And I don't want to make too many beats neither. So let me just find.
One thing I'll say about Nicholas Craven, he definitely leaves, unless it's a lot of vocal sample chops, which he does often, but he leaves a bed for the rapper to get their bars off. He leaves room for rappers to get their bars off. That is, if you want to make beats, like, it's one thing to make instrumental beats, but if you want to make beats for rappers to rap on, you have to leave room for the vocals to punch through. So, like, you're like leaving a bed for them to get this shit off. I don't know. I know I'm not explaining it right, but long story short, you got to leave room for the vocals.
Something minimal, kind of minimal I can add. Well, that's 2 records, so.
And sometimes you can carve out that frequency sometimes in the EQ, but it's better to have something that's not too busy if you want to put vocals on it. Like these guys that do these beat competitions where it's producer gymnastics and rolls and slide 808s and all that kind of stuff. That's dope for what it is, but to make music and to make records, I think you have to have a balance of, space. You gotta find space in a beat for a rapper.
I put the
Or
little bass
singer.
line from the Jerry Butler joint. That's kind of cheap. I don't know if that's fair. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. All right, well, we got something going here, so let's go and see what these guys got for us. Oh, it's a new one. Okay. I don't usually sample from new records. This is a...
All my all my 90s DJs, you know how to open those records. If you know, leave it down in the comments how you really supposed to open a new record.
This is the first on camera. You guys are getting a real exclusive here.
I'll let you know if you're right.
All right, let's see what we got. Fire.
Yeah, that's tough.
There's something at the beginning, first thing I played. Take the bass off of that. There you go. That's a beat that takes all 3 records. We got the little kind of xylophone marimba sound. We got the synth. And we got the little fill at the end. All right. There you have it. Nicholas Craven, Rhythm Roulette. Shout out to Mass Appeal. Shout out to Cutting Room Studios for having us. Shout out to A1 Records for having us. You know how I get down, so until next time, thanks for tuning in.
Definitely sounds a lot better once you actually hear the direct audio. But yeah, that was Nicholas Craven on Rhythm Roulette. He took a different approach. Instead of making a bunch of different beats like some people try to do, he used all 3 records to make one beat. And the beat came out dope. Like I said, this is a dope series, and I'm always here for it, especially when somebody that's kind of in the same lane that I'm in, they get on this show. I would love to see a lot more producers in my lane get on here. Obviously, Derringer's done one already. I would like to see Conductor. I would like to see DiBiase. I would like to see Future Wave. V-Don did one already. But I could go on for days and days about the producers in my lane. Shout out everybody that's doing the type of music that I'm doing. Shout out Nicholas Craven. Shout out Mass Appeal. Shout out Rhythm Roulette.